Okay, I've changed the setup a little bit now, so we can use the wall as a prop. We're going to use this as a support, which is really handy. There's a lot of stuff that you can do using the wall, and thank goodness you have lots of those at home. If you haven't covered them with stuff, then there's nothing in the way. Then it's easier, of course. And also, actually, I'm not going to show it, but if you have counters and tables that are the right height for you, like at your hip height, then you can also do that there. And what I'm talking about in saying that is a prep for downward facing dog, which is what we also did in the last video. So if you didn't see that one yet, I would suggest or recommend that you watch that one first, where we were on hands and knees, some cat-cow, getting the idea of pressing the weight into the knuckles instead of into the wrists. So downward dog is a lot of weight bearing on the hands, and some of us may never want to do down dog, so the wall option will be much better. The puppy option also will be good. The one I showed where, I'll just show it again, it's a short version of a dog in a way that you stay down on your knees and you walk your hands away. So feel free to do that one anytime, whenever a down dog is offered in this or in any other practice. So up on your feet for a little bit and find a wall that you can use. Set yourself up at a distance from the wall where you hinge at your hips and get a little closer, and then you're able to press either your fingertips or your flat hands to the wall, and then let your head be right in between your arms like we did in the last one. If you tip your head side to side, your ears touch your arms, so we're not letting the head fall through, otherwise it's pulling on the back. Watch out for belly spilling, pull that up a little bit, pull the rib cage up, and then you can bend the knees more. If you notice something like this, if say when you're in the shape you're looking back at your legs, you probably need a little more bend in your knees and to push your hips back, or imagine they're being tugged back, your hips are being pulled away from the wall while your head or top of your head is pressing towards the wall, so you're nice and long. You can also do something like bend one knee, straighten the other leg. This will help the stretch of the legs, as in you can stretch one at a time instead of both at the same time. We may not want to go full straight legs. Notice when I bend the knees, I can push back more. I can lengthen out the back more. And make sure that you can breathe, of course, the whole time you're in that. Make sure that it's comfortable to breathe. So we're going to play back on the floor again. So if you come back onto your hands and your knees, let's check what we did last time of being able to either lift the wrists a little bit or have them slightly out in front of you and press forward into them enough that your wrists can lift. So for down dog, the shape is similar to what you saw there. We would call it an upside down L sometimes. Down dog is sometimes known as an upside down V. That's your body in the same shape, or similar shape, just different positioning. Similar also to when we sat like so in the other video as well, that you're making an L shape of you. So if you want to attempt down dog, set up like you're in the tabletop, but then put your hands more out in front of you, and then curl your toes under, and similar to that stretch we did, you could just sit back, let your head come down in between your arms. So you're getting some form of stretch. You're also getting the legs and the feet used to bearing the weight a little more, with the hands also being on the floor. Then you can start to, if you want to, push with your legs, lift with your core, and start to come up. I'm just going to move this out of the way right there. So when you start to lift, you might find that you dump into the wrists. So attempt to push the hands forward like we did again. See if you can keep the weight more forward in the hands. You can keep a lot of bend in your knees. You may not want to go straight legs. There's never a rule of straight legs. Your heels don't have to touch the floor. They can be lifted, your knees can be more bent, and come down for a break anytime, which can be your child's pose. Remember all those variations of child's pose that we played with. If your wrists need a little break, backward stretch, or press the backs of the hands onto the floor one at a time, maybe rocking one to the other. Give them a little shake out if you need to. Check on your shoulders. How are they feeling? How are you feeling in general or overall? If you did just go upside down a little bit, you may sometimes feel sort of a rush of blood to the head, to the face. So depending how that went for you, you could go back to the wall and try it again, or you could do that again on the floor. And remember that it is a practice to get the weight in the hands to be more here, more up at the top, more to the index finger knuckle. Sometimes what you'll need to do, instead of the hands being straight ahead or turned in, they have to be slightly turned out. So notice that my index finger is the one pointing straight up. They're parallel with each other when you do it that way. It makes it a little easier to be able to press into your index finger knuckles. So it'll make it nicer for any time that you do down dog, especially if you're in a class maybe like a flow, ever where you are going through the vinyasa sequence or doing a few down dogs. And make sure that your legs take more of the weight. So let's do it one more time, shall we? So you decide again, come up and do at the wall if you want to, play around with it, or come on to the floor. And you can walk your dog, as we call it, while you're there. Make sure, keep checking that your wrists have less weight, your knuckles have more weight. Bend the knees more as need be. Any amount. Yeah? How'd you do? Comments in below, pardon me, if you want. Questions, anything. I'd love to hear how it's going for you. And I'll see you again soon.